What do you make being wrong or even feedbacks mean about yourself? In the past, for me, being wrong meant that I was a terrible human being. Feedbacks were very challenging for me. Not all of them, but sometimes it was a lot more challenging, especially if I didn't see it in me. But what I came to realize about that is that I grew up in an environment where my parents were the know-it-all. Anything that they did was always right. They could do no wrong. The things that they said couldn't be wrong. It was all right because they were my parents. They knew better. They had more experience in life. And so I didn't grow up with examples of having parents who taught me that being wrong is okay. It's okay to apologize when you're wrong. It's okay to take feedbacks. That it's okay to apologize and say sorry when, even though you may do something with a good intention, the impact may be different. You may hurt people unintentionally. It's okay to take responsibility for that, especially when it comes to your kids. And so, but as I grew older and got entangled in long-term relationships, abusive relationships, I came to realize, after going to therapy and coaching, that being wrong is okay. Being wrong means making mistakes means that you are just a human being. Nobody's perfect. We're supposed to learn and grow in our life. It's okay to make mistakes. It doesn't mean we are a terrible human being at all. It just means that it's a little mistake. It's a mistake. You can still choose to correct them. If it harms people, apologize and you change your behavior. You try again. It's okay to do that. It doesn't mean anything about you as a human being. And also, I learned that being older doesn't make you right. Being younger doesn't make you wrong. Being wise has no age. A 2-year-old kid can be right. A 50-year-old father can be wrong. And so what I've come to realize is that in order to build relationships, to have connections in our life, we have to learn how to be okay with being wrong. We have to be okay with taking responsibility when we're harming other people, even though we may not have the intention to do that. Because whether we like it or not, we can't read minds, and we will hurt people. We will hurt the people that we love the most unintentionally. And it's okay to acknowledge that my behavior hurt people. It's okay to change your behavior because you don't want to hurt the people you love. Yeah. And so I think as I learned about that, it became easier and easier for me to acknowledge my mistakes, grow from them, not making mistakes mean anything about me, but an opportunity to grow. That's what it is. And we will do that for the rest of our life. And we don't have to question our existence as a human being when we make mistakes. It's okay to acknowledge them, say sorry, have compassion within yourself that I'm a human being, I'm sorry I made a mistake. I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to try not to do the same mistakes again. It's okay to do that. And that's the thing that I've learned. And that has helped me grow so much as a person, as a human being. And I'm so grateful that I found my coach, my therapist. I was even in a group coaching at one point for more than a year. I'm so grateful to those spaces where I was allowed to acknowledge my mistakes. I saw people taking accountability. I saw people acknowledging so many things that I wouldn't acknowledge about myself. It was such a huge thing for me to have those behaviors, good behaviors, healthy behaviors mirrored to me, like to see that. And oftentimes we don't see that because we surround ourselves with people who are similar to us, which is why it's important sometimes to step out a little bit and be in environments where giving feedbacks is normal. It's just seeing something different, right? I mean, I learned how my parents acted in relationships, and that's how I acted. That was a learned behavior. It doesn't mean it was right. It wasn't right. And it was misaligned. That's why I had so much anxiety that I didn't know I had. It's okay to acknowledge that those were bad behaviors. And now lean toward healthy behaviors. It's okay to have self-compassion for yourself. No mistakes mean anything about a person, a human being. It's just a simple mistake. It took me being more than an adult to realize that. Yeah, that was terrible. Not terrible, but that's a terrible way of growing up. One thing that I always found very fascinating around first world and third world countries, and I come from Nepal. I was born and raised in Nepal, and I moved here in my 20s. And I always questioned, like, what's the difference? Because I grew up in a middle-class family, and here I was not even middle class with my family when we initially moved with my parents. And so I saw my life back home a lot better. And so, especially like money-wise or resources-wise, a lot better than here. And so I always question that. But I've come to realize now is that the difference between first and third world countries, and it's just my hypothesis, I could be wrong, is emotional intelligence. Third world countries are so behind when it comes to emotional intelligence. And first world countries are behind in some ways too, but they are a lot furthermore. Yeah. For example, mental health is recognized a lot more here than in Nepal. And so, including like all the stigmas and everything of that. And, for me, coming to a place of being now, I feel so grateful that my father chose for me to, sponsor me in this country. And I moved to Canada. I don't think I would be where I am emotionally, mentally, if it wasn't for me to move here. I don't think I would be able to get here where I am emotionally if I was back home. So I find that that's the huge difference in between first and third world countries. And maybe I'm generalizing, but that's my own experience in terms of my own background. Yeah, I ranted a lot. But if anybody needs to hear this today, okay, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay. It's okay to be older. and also make mistakes. It's also okay to apologize to younger people. Being older doesn't mean we are more wise. We learn, we grow. It really depends on how open we are. Those mistakes, these being wrong, it doesn't mean anything, nothing about who we are as a human being. Because we as a human being, when we are born in this earth, we all were the same. We were just this pure soul. That's what we were. But it was tainted by how we grew up, by our parents' parents' generation, the whole thing. So it doesn't mean anything about us at all. Internally, nothing. It just means that there are places that we need to work on, and we can grow and learn and do better. We don't have to hide our face in shame and try so hard to not be wrong. It's easier to be wrong than prove that you're not wrong. Yeah. All right. Bye for now.